That material around my wrist that looks like a loose sock is actually my skin. So now just imagine my testicle getting road rash to this degree. Story time. For those of you that don't know what the Onewheel is, it is basically a motorized board that has like kind of like a more carvy feel to it. It simulates snowboarding, surfing, and it goes up to 20 miles an hour. But it is dangerous. I think it's a lot less stable than the booster board. It's a lot more fun to ride. And it literally on the box has warnings that can cause death or injuries. It is dangerous. Extremely, extremely dangerous. I wrecked going about 20 miles an hour and I got road rash on my testicles. So now just imagine this on my right testicle. That material around my wrist that looks like a loose sock is actually my skin. So that's not the worst part. So I'm flying down the road. So this particular day, the board just stopped and I continued forward at about 20 miles an hour. I was able to like stride a few steps before just flying forward like Superman. And I'm wearing this Adidas jumpsuit that I have on right now. And I go flying and I'm just like skidding across the ground. And at some point, my shorts got pulled down, completely like unaware that had happened, which resulted in my testicle getting road rash to this degree and me sliding to a stop. And so I stopped, not aware that my pants came down, stood up, trying to assess the situation. There was two sensations, two external stimuluses that reached my senses at the same time. The first was the sound of children asking me if I was okay. And the second was the sensation of cold air blowing against my exposed genitalia. I was in this like kind of state of shock, trying to assess my physical health, my well-being in the moment. The sound of the children jolted my awareness to my exposed genitalia. I pulled up my pants and turned around and they asked me again, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. But are you all right?" And they looked confused because they weren't aware that I was referring to their emotional psyche, their psychological well-being after seeing a man expose themselves to them. And I wanted to like, and I was like, I didn't want to like actually bring up the subject of exposing myself because that's like a can of worms. I just didn't know what else to say. Like I didn't want to say like, "Hey, are you guys okay seeing my penis and testicles? Like if you're not, we can talk about it. We can get your mom and dad out here and have a conversation." And like I just didn't know where to lead the conversation. So I was just like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're fine." I'm like, "Okay." So I got on my Onewheel and rode away before the parents came out because I don't know what they saw. I don't know if they saw the wreck or if they saw just a man standing with his junk hanging out in front of their kids. Second thing I want to talk about is the butterfly effect. I've been trying to explain this to my wife. When I was initially going to ride the Onewheel, I just wanted to get out of the house and go up the street, get a coffee and a breakfast sandwich and come back. But she made me put on a helmet after guilt tripping me. So I think the time it took to find the helmet changed a whole level of probabilities that went from the absolute certainty that I wouldn't get in a wreck to the probability that I would fall, cut up my wrist, and expose myself to children. Butterfly effect. It's science. Even with that said, like I love riding it. It's like my favorite thing to do in the world. So yeah, that is just my story for the weekend. So that's my story. If you like it, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you. And I got some cool training videos coming out and some updates with what's going on in my life. Bye.